And now for the Rudebuoyz rant.
Rudebuoyz, we upon the scene and ting with another episode coming up to you and ting. And today on the Rudebuoyz, we'll be talking about excessive force and a little bit about the shootings that's going on and ting. This is the Dirty Immigrant.
This scholar.
Yes, I hope you're all doing pretty good out there. Hope life is massive, like they say back home and ting. So let's get right into it because Scotland's a short window here. He's got to go back to his real job. But we talk about excessive force.
It's too bad this can't be a real job. You know what I mean?
We talk about the excessive force thing, and I'm going to start off with that, and then we're going to sort of segue into the shootings that happened. But anyway, I watched this video on the Facebook, and it's this old lady, and she's driving a little truck, you know what I mean? And she pull up, the cops pull over. So the cop come up to her and told her, that something is expired, some kind of ticket. It was a ticket infraction. So the little old lady started to get belligerent. No, you be fair with me and I'll be fair with you. And the cop said, it's been 6 months. You have 6 months to fix this. And the lady said, I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. She started going off and stuff. And then he got all her information. She gave him everything. She complied to begin with. But once he bring back the ticket, she lost it. You know what I mean? So anyway, he tried to hand her the ticket and she said, I am not signing that. And she's just going off. So then he do so and he back up and he said, you're under arrest. Little old lady was like, oh no, you ain't going to arrest me. She keep going on. And he told her to, get out of the truck, and she refused, so she took off. Little old lady took off. So high-speed chase down the highway with grandma, and he's in chase. Of course, it's put. It's not like 90 miles an hour. Then she pulled into a parking place, a parking lot. He pulled up. He told her, get out of the truck now! Get out of the truck now! I can't remember if he pulled his gun or not. I think he did pull his gun. Get out of the truck now! Get out of the truck now! So Granny was like, no, I ain't getting out of the truck. So he managed to get the door open, pull Granny out, throw her down on the ground. And Granny's kicking, screaming, bam, 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 you know what I mean? So while Granny is laying on the ground, kicking and screaming, old dude stepped back and tased Granny. He tased Granny. This dude looked like he's about 5'11", 6'1", and he's muscular. You're going to tell me that this dude cannot hold on a little old lady? He cannot restrain. If he can't restrain a little old lady, why is he a cop? Because they have guns and tasers and nightsticks and stuff they could beat you with.
Yeah.
That's why. So they could put like Pee Wee Herman in there as a cop as long as he could shoot you 21 times. And what's sad about it, and I thought the tasing of Granny was excessive. I really did. You tased Granny. Granted, I think Granny, you had to use some kind of force because she was fighting. I totally understand that. She should be punished. I totally understand that. But tasing Granny over a traffic ticket thing?
Well, you can also on the other side say, did she really need to take off over a traffic thing?
Yeah, I understand that. You know what I mean?
There's unfortunately multiple levels of this because you've got one, she really didn't need to be uncooperative like that.
True.
And, because as you said, over a traffic thing. I mean, and that's unfortunately...
You see,
it keeps going back to, I'm going to do what I want to. I don't care.
Yeah.
This old woman says, I'm going to do what I want to. I don't care. And then once the cop has her down on the ground, so I'm going to do what I want to. I don't care.
Yeah.
And...
You see, okay, through all of it, I was on the cop side until he tased Granny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw everything from his side, what he was doing. Even when he yanked her out of the truck and tossed her on the ground.
Did he at least have her in handcuffs when he tased her yet, or had he not even gotten that far?
Granny was just rolling the rug of the girl. Granny can't even get up. She was trying to get up. She's like rolling.
At that point, you should just basically stand back and laugh.
Yeah, she's like a turtle on his back.
Let her tire herself out.
She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, let her tire herself out. Call for backup and say, guys, you got to come see this.
You know what I'm saying? He could have called for backup or something, you know what I mean? And sit on her for a while. She wasn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? You tell me Granny's stronger than you? Why you're a cop if Granny's stronger than you? You know, and then I got this girl on my Facebook picture where she should have complied. She actually did to begin with. Is when she saw the ticket, which is when most people get belligerent, when they see the ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, yep, Granny should have chill out. But I think the tasing was just too much. And the reason why I say that is this. A lady I work with says, well, she deserved it, being a bad example for kids. And I'm sitting there going, but the cop showing kids that if people don't do what they want, you could go excessive on them.
You can do what you want.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, well, no, because he's an authority. Well, that's who kids look up to. And kids, especially teenagers and stuff.
Okay, so does that mean then, okay, he's in a position of authority. So that means then that the politricksters can do whatever they want because they're in a position of authority.
Exactly. You know what I mean? My man Trump could say whatever he wants, you know, and the consequences is whatever.
Yeah, because he's in a position of authority. He can do whatever he wants.
He already said it, you know what I mean? He's a president. He could do what he wants.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So then the bully in high school could say, hey, I'm stronger than you, so I could do whatever I want.
I'm basically in a position of authority.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because when I say boo, you cower away.
Yeah.
People don't take into consideration the whole spectrum of things. It's just that, you know, and I try to tell the girl that, like, okay, in my country, and of course when I see that, they're probably thinking, well, you could go back home. That's exactly what they're thinking. But and in England and and in Scandinavian countries like Iceland and stuff, they don't have that kind of stuff happening because they don't run in there like, you know, okay, I'm gonna just go make them, how should I put it, heel to my every order. I give you a lawful order. That's the usual phrase, you know. Like, for instance, a cop would tell you, sit on that curb. And you go, no, man, that grung is cold, it's dirty. That's a lawful order. To sit on the dirty grung is a lawful order? No, that's them telling you you're going to sit there so I could be above you, not better than you, but above you because I have the power over you. You know, you're down there. You know what I mean? And they say it's for our safety. It's more psychological than that. They put you sit down and have you cross your leg. They're making you weak.
Well, I'm sure they're also hoping that you're not going to run then. It's a little harder to run when you're sitting down with your crossed legs. With your crossed legs. With your legs crossed.
Yeah. I don't really think so because it just tastes you when you start running.
Well.
Or they put like 21 bullets in you. You know, and I ain't got nothing against cops. I got cops that are friends. I sound like a racist. I ain't racist. I got black friends.
Yeah. You mean white friends?
Oh, you're white. Oh, I just solidified the thing where a lot of black people think I'm white.
Oh, no. Well, you already get told that you're not black.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Well, but you already have a whole bunch of people telling you you're not black. So.
Yeah, but you know, at least they don't tell me that on the radio.
That is true.
I think the excessive force is like, for instance, there was another one in Florida. I think it was, where these kids were standing there with their parents and stuff waiting outside of a school. Dude come up and he had a gun. And there was an off-duty female police officer that just opened up on the dude and kill him. And anyway, she's such a hero. She's such a hero. Maybe she should have just wounded the guy to show the kids, well, you just don't kill somebody because they come there. No, I totally understand.
But, the unfortunate thing, though, is if that's their training.
Yeah.
Is, you know, because the other side of that, if the other guy's got a gun, if you just wound him, I mean, I hate to say just kill somebody, but if you just wound them, if they still have an opportunity to be able to pull the trigger, that's either coming at you or it's coming at the kids and whatever. So that one to me is a little touchy because, okay, if he had just had like a bat, and she killed him, that I could go, okay, you're going a little too far here. But the fact that he's also got a gun.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
I do understand, you know, okay, you just did this in front of kids, but still at the same time, this is somebody with a gun that you don't know what they're going to do if you just wound them.
I totally understand that, but most people when they get shot, especially those cowardly criminals, they lay there and whine like a baby.
But if that gun is still in their hands, I mean, that's it. Unless you are such a sharpshooter that you can shoot their hand that has the gun in it, wound that gun hand and make the gun obviously go, off somewhere else. I mean, I'm sorry. That's one that to me is
I totally. I know it's kind of
gray
touchy.
area. Like I said, if there was a different weapon that doesn't involve shooting, a bat, a knife, whatever it is, then yes, I would say I think you can just wound them. But the fact that he also had a gun, because just because you shoot him in the leg doesn't guarantee that he's going to be laying there going, because you don't know what. I mean, if this person's hopped up on something, they may not even feel that bullet.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying there, but I don't think she's a hero. I think she's a woman who just got scared and shoot. I don't think we should point them out as heroes for doing that. I really don't. I know that's the way people think here, but I don't think that's a hero action per se. Hey, I'm not saying she did the wrong thing per se, but I'm saying we shouldn't call her a hero because we have all these kids that are either traumatized by the situation. They got double traumatized.
It could have been worse.
Is
the other thing. It could have been worse.
You see, the people always say it could have been, but it wasn't.
It wasn't because she reacted.
You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't because she reacted. And that's what I'm saying. Because he had a gun.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that I don't think that's excessive force, because he had a gun going after kids. And how many shootings have we seen lately that have killed children? Okay, we had obviously the two over the weekend, but then there was another one that happened last week that I didn't even know about till yesterday. That was one out in California. Guy went into a park and shot and killed 3 people.
Garlic Festival.
Yeah, 2 of them were children. And that's what I'm saying.
But you see, here's the thing though. Yeah, I think it's a different equation there, because those guys that went into the park there, they absolutely went in there with the idea they're gonna kill. Most guys with guns who are robbing don't go with the idea to kill. They just want to get the quick money and run. And I totally understand.
Know that.
I know you don't know that.
Yes.
But you know the guys who are going into the other places, so they deserve to be shot and killed as far as I'm concerned.
But
I know it's an edge there. I totally get what you're saying.
But I don't feel like you can, when you're trying to argue with saying, oh, it could have been worse, but it didn't get worse because she reacted.
Oh, you see, we don't know that.
I know, but
the guy could have taken the money and run.
I know that, but at the same time, I don't feel like you can really say, but it wasn't worse because we don't know. He might have just walked up and said, "You know what? Give me your stuff." Pow. Oh, you're not. Pow. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know because she reacted.
You see, at that point, she know he wasn't walking up to go pow because he didn't shoot anybody. He just said, "Give me the money." By saying we don't know if he would have just walked up and shot.
Okay, well, hang on. You need to explain that stuff at the beginning because you didn't. You didn't even say any of that in the beginning. You just said a guy walked up with a gun, woman off duty, cop shoots him.
Oh, okay.
You need to explain those things because you didn't.
I saw the video.
It wasn't in my mind. I'm picturing this guy's walking up holding a gun, and she just said, "Oh my."
No.
Okay, you need to explain those things.
He talked to them for a little bit.
You need to explain those things.
You know what I mean? Usually, somebody's coming to rob you.
Remember, when you're talking about some of this stuff, you can't just assume everybody knows the story of what you're saying.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah,
because I didn't even know the story of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bag. I should have. Yeah. No.
That does make it a little bit different, but at the same time, it's another thing. He's holding a gun. She doesn't know that even though he's waved the gun at them a little bit, that suddenly he's not going to go, you know what? I forget it.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, pow. Because we see people, unfortunately, with these shootings who walk in somewhere and suddenly just go, you know what? Okay, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah. Yeah. But they weren't robbers, though. They came there to kill.
I do. Well, but
you know
still,
what I mean?
I mean, he may have robbed and then decided, you all have seen my face.
Well, he was on camera anyway. He didn't care.
So? But that's what I'm saying. He I got to get rid of a few witnesses.
No. That one is a kind of a slippery slope there. All I'm saying is
like I said, if it had been another weapon, then yes, shoot to kill, wrong. But still the fact that he's holding a gun
Yeah.
is what you don't know what can possibly happen next. You don't know what's going on in this guy's mind, especially if he's hopped up on any drugs.
Here's what I'm saying as far as the response to it is. I don't think we should be telling the kids she's a hero. What we should be telling the kids is she had to react to a situation and she did what was good to save your life. This whole hero thing, dude, we back to the Wild West. You see what's going on?
I don't know. Well, we call athletes heroes because they won a game. No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. As far as the hero thing, you know, oh, you hit a walk-off home run. Oh, you're a hero.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And he ain't saved nobody life.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you did your job.
You know, but because man, what is going on? It's shooting there, shooting there.
Remember though, this whole continent basically was built on the gun. You know, it was built on the gun.
And we have to remember too that most of the guns around the world, where did it come from? This continent and the East continent, or whatever, the Russian area.
Well, but as far as when
the Chinese took over.
When this country was built, obviously they were bringing them over from Europe to start off with. But you know, I mean, and then obviously too, when the amendment was written, you know, the right to bear arms, man, they were muzzle loaders.
Yeah,
they weren't automatic weapons that could unload 30 bullets in a second or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the real numbers of some of that stuff, but I mean, it's, you know.
So let me ask you this: what do you think of the mental health argument?
To be quite frank, I think anybody who's doing something like that, obviously something's wrong upstairs. But if you want to just say, oh, mental instability and not go terrorist, because I'm sorry, if you're a terrorist, I don't care what kind of terrorist you are, there's something wrong upstairs that you have decided, I'm going to do this to other human beings. Whether it's a religious thing, whether it's a, you know, whatever it is, I'm sorry, something's wrong upstairs. You've lost your humanity. If you've decided, I'm just going to go do this to innocent people and I don't care.
Okay, so in that vein, what do you think of people who go off to war?
Little bit different, especially if it's, okay. Obviously, if you're in a war and you're fighting the other side's soldiers, that's a little different. What I'm talking about is when you're going and just killing innocent people.
But that's what happened during wars. Mostly innocent people die.
No, I know that. But some of it, unfortunately, is by accident. But when you have others who just say, you know what, let's just bomb this town because it might get a rise out of them, that's wrong. You know, when you've got, obviously, the ones who walk into buildings, blow themselves up, fly into buildings, blow themselves up. The whole thing, you know, the whole thing of just, it's innocent people, I don't care. That's where I have a problem.
Yeah, because the guy in Dayton killed his sister too.
Yeah, I know. When it's soldiers fighting soldiers, that's a little different. But when it's just, like I said, the whole, and unfortunately, yes, in wars, and this is one thing. There was a line from a MASH episode where Hawkeye said that he thought that war was worse than hell, because obviously everybody liked to say, oh, you know, war is hell. And he said, war is war and hell is hell, and of the two, war is worse. And the guy who's playing the preacher, Father Mulcahy, says, how do you figure that? And he says, well, who goes to hell? Sinners. Okay. But war, you have women and children, innocent people, you know, they all suffer. And that's where I have the problem is when it's just aimed at innocent people. When you've got the two sides who are both soldiers just fighting each other, that's a little different. But when you go with the purpose of, I'm going to take out whoever's in the path and I don't care, you've lost something upstairs.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Most wars are like that, though.
No, well, that's how a lot of them start, and then that's when.
But because okay, if you go into,
I mean, obviously, I believe that a lot of the Nazis had lost their humanity.
Yeah.
When they decide, okay, let's round up all these people who are different from us, and either kill them or work them to death. You've lost some humanity.
I personally think you have to lose some humanity to actually go to war. You know what?
Yeah,
because check it out. I'll give you an example.
But I'm thinking if you're going after innocent people, period, you don't care. You've lost it all.
But you don't know if you're going after innocent people.
No. When you're going with the purpose of it.
But you see, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go in, you know you're going after innocent people too. And I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
when I was home and the Cobra helicopter went over my village and opened up.
Yeah.
You have to know that's innocent people. There's houses
know.
and villages.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like days into it or months into it.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a day or two into it. So
Yeah.
you know that you shooting at women and children down there in a village.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, and that's why I'm fundamentally against war.
Well, and unfortunately, that's where something like propaganda comes into it, where we've got to dehumanize the other side, even if they're not in uniform.
And, you know, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's not just one
that's
side.
That's where, like, okay, even in something like, I know it's essentially Hollywood, but still based off a true story, Band of Brothers, where they talk about once they got into Germany, and they're talking to the German people. They're even talking to some of the German soldiers. It's like, wow, you know, if it wasn't for this, we'd probably be friends.
I was told that back home, too.
Yeah, and so that's where I think some of those people, obviously, like you said, okay, they've lost a degree of their humanity to go do this. But the people with the express, I'm going to go take out innocent people, I know I'm going to go take out innocent people, and I don't care. Like these shooters who walk into movie theaters, Walmarts, parks, you know, what the people at the music festival in Las Vegas, their humanity's gone. So
because there's no war.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to the mental illness side, because that unfortunately then loops them in with people who are mentally ill, who aren't going to go do something stupid.
Most of them don't.
Yes, exactly. So there maybe needs to be another degree of mental illness / terrorism, maybe. But okay, I guess what maybe too with some of your point from earlier that I might have lost track of a long time ago, but when they try to say, when the shooter is white and they try to say he's got a mental illness instead of just flat out calling him a terrorist, I do have a problem with that. I do have a problem with that, because the evidence is out there that basically, okay, if it was a Muslim that did it, they're a terrorist.
Yeah.
If it's a black person that did it, they're a terrorist. If it's a Mexican that did it, they're a terrorist. White guy. Well, they were a little mentally unstable.
Yeah, because we're the most civilized people on the planet.
Yeah, lone wolf, and like, come on, just call him a frickin' terrorist.
We're the most civilized people on the planet who say, "Tears, Granny."
Yeah. Well, take out this Native American village. Let's go ahead and kill them. Let's enslave these people.
I know that's not funny, but you know, these are the people that think, well, we're civilized. Tears, Granny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that crap needs to stop. When somebody walks into a Walmart with the express consent of, I'm going to just shoot people. If I don't care what color they are, who they are, that's a terrorist.
Yeah. And I you know what? I don't think at all that's mental, because if you are sitting there, it's kind of okay. You sitting there watching all this stuff on the internet and reading all these books, and then going out and doing that. It's kind of like a soldier sitting in a classroom being told to go out and do this stuff. So then that's not mental illness. That is you making a conscious decision to go out and do this.
But that's where I think that a little bit mental is you've lost your humanity.
Yeah.
If you've let everything
you know
anger you so much that it's gotten into your head that you...
Yeah, I you know, and I'd say it's just a smidgen of mental stuff. It's a small, because then again, they could just segue that into saying, well, all racists have got mental issues.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? That's what they're going to say
remember,
next.
you gotta blame your faults on something, because it's not your fault.
You know what I'm saying, though? Because if they say that, because it's obviously racism that's spun in this, so then they're going to say, well, racism is a mental illness, and then they're going to excuse it that way.
No, that's a human illness.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like me. Okay, boom, 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 Cobra helicopters. I don't hate nobody. We don't hate nobody.
Most people don't.
You know what I'm saying?
It's that minority number of people. And look, folks, when I'm saying minority, I'm not talking about minorities. Okay, I'm talking about a lower number. So minority number of humans. Yes, and unfortunately, those are the ones that we keep hearing about.
Yeah.
Because obviously, okay, the crowd of people at the Walmart, you can probably safely say that the majority of them, possibly even every person that was in the store just shopping that day, would not go and do this thing.
Yeah.
But that one person who walked in, so again, minority number.
And the thing
unfortunately,
about it is,
unfortunately, that's the one that we have to keep hearing about, because those are the ones who keep doing these just
and the thing about
inhuman
this,
acts.
Chicago had an issue this weekend too. Okay, so we had the El Paso stuff, we have the Dayton stuff, and the other, which other one that was
The one in California,
racially motivated. And then, well, Chicago, you know what? In Chicago, gangsters know the other gangsters they killing. These other people went out and killed random people that just didn't care.
When people try to throw other things out there, like did you see what I guess Neil deGrasse Tyson said? He was trying to, I guess, make a point of we still have other people dying from other things. It's like, look, this was not the time to bring it out. After we've just had approximately 34 people die in about 24 hours in 2 different places from shootings, this is not your time to go, oh, well, we actually have about 500 people a year die from medical malpractice, this, and and this and that. And I'm like, this isn't your time. This isn't the time to bring that out, okay?
What's wrong with him? I thought he was cool, a cool scientist.
Well, he's probably sick and tired of hearing about all the shooting stuff and thinking, okay, we need to solve this when we do have other problems. Yes. Maybe what you need to do is loop it all together and go, wow, we have a lot of things we have to fix.
Yeah.
Not just, well, let's not just only focus on this. Like, man, 34 people just lost their life to somebody who lost all their senses and said, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
including one's own sister.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to loop it all together and say, we have a lot of things we have to fix. Fine. Don't try and make it seem like, man, that one's only, and again, when somebody just types something out, you really don't know how they intended it because we can't hear their voice and things like that. But to type that out and have it look like you're basically saying, man, that's only small potatoes. We got to worry about this stuff.
I tell you what, though, this is not going to get fixed. And it's not going to get fixed because of politicians.
No.
It's going to get fixed because of the people.
You know what's bad, and I really hate to say this, and before I go any further, folks, I'm not advocating this, all right? But a lot of times, unfortunately, when things get changed, something has to directly affect someone. And like I remember, okay, this is kind of a small comparison here, but I remember there was this spot on Interstate 81 in Winchester, Virginia, that to try and get off of the interstate to go into Winchester, but also at the same time you've got people who are trying to get on 81. This was a very small spot. So you've got people trying to slam their brakes because also the turn on the off-ramp was real tight. Basically, you're coming in about 65, 70 miles an hour, and within a very short amount of space, you've got to drop down to 25 because you've got this real tight turn coming up and around. But at the same time, you've got people who are trying to come down the ramp and go, okay, I know if I got to get into this traffic, I need to be going faster than 30. So you've got people trying to get on quick, people trying to get off and slow down real fast. And I asked my dad one time, I said, when are they ever going to change this? This is a disaster waiting to happen. And my dad said, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to take somebody getting killed. And finally, one time I went home over summer, and I saw them starting to do construction there. And I asked my dad, I said, well, I see they're finally going to do this. And he goes, yeah, because somebody got killed there. And again, I hate to say this, but it seems like for Congress to actually really make something happen, something like this is going to have to directly affect, and not just one or two of them, a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
exactly know, yeah.
And it's gonna,
and it's not an advocation,
and it's gonna have to affect people on both sides.
Oh
too.
Yeah.
Not just obviously happening to the Democrats or just the Republicans or whatever. And I hate to say that again, folks, I'm not advocating that you do any of this stuff.
But and I tell you what, that is so true because I have 2 examples of that.
Okay.
Geraldo Rivera, he's massive conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that conservative. But when it comes to immigration, he wants them to stop the camps and do all that because it affects his race.
Yes, yeah. And his family heritage.
Yeah, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So that proves the point there. Meghan McCain, okay, she's all Trumpy. But then when he said go back home, she started talking about my sister is an American because her sister was adopted and brought here by her father from one of the Asian countries, I think.
Okay.
You know, so she's an American. You know, it affected her directly. So
Yes.
now she's saying something.
Yeah.
When it was just those people that are coming across the border, it was all right. But now when they start saying that, so it has to affect them, and that's kind of sad.
It is.
It's got to get to that point.
Well, and unfortunately, that again shows true that the politicians really don't give a damn about us
No.
until it comes time to get reelected.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, too, is it's the same thing when you talk about economics. You know what I mean? It's not affecting them when they have to work paycheck to paycheck. So they don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Way out here, the ones suffering the paycheck to paycheck stuff. They don't have any immediate family members that are suffering paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
When it start happening to them, that's when they're going to start caring.
Yeah.
You see, there's all kinds of, so when the shooting stuff start happening to them directly, and it has to, not it has to be, but if it happens, it has to be from both ends.
Yeah.
Because then if it just happened to Democrats, Republicans going to say, well, it's your fault. You're the one that wanted a gun-free zone and blah, blah, blah. blah. That's what you get.
You all should have had your guns and you could have stopped this. And
exactly. And if it just happened to the Republicans, the Democrats will say, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, I know.
For wanting everybody to have guns, Man, we are so screwed.
Screwed up.
Not screwed up, screwed.
Well, I think the politicians are screwed up. And then you've got, Trump comes out and gives his statement after it happened, and he says, there's no room for hate in this country. Okay, so does that mean you need to go? Because that man has almost talked nothing but hate ever since he got on the campaign trail.
Yeah. And he also said condolences to Toledo.
Well, that was in his tweet, and so...
Actually, he said it.
No. When the video I saw, he said Dayton.
Oh, okay.
The thing that I saw where it said Toledo was a tweet.
Oh, he got to stop tweeting at 3 a.m. in the morning.
I mean, and I don't feel like that's one that you can blame on autocorrect, because Toledo and Dayton aren't exactly the same kind of words. That it's like, well, I started to type in one, and it corrected it. It's not like I was trying to type in Towson and it gave me Toledo or something. No. But yeah, Toledo and Dayton are they're sort of near each other in Ohio. That's about all you can get.
And
there.
the thing, a lot of the conservatives are going to say, well, he did come out and say there's no place for racism here. Yeah, he said it.
No, he said no place for hate.
But yeah.
He didn't say anything about racism. He said
that was
place
his daughter,
for hate.
I think, that said something about racism.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that was
and then
but see,
every time...
that's it said. He said it, so what do you all want?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But what is he doing?
Again, okay, I'm not going to tell people to stop praying, but obviously just doing thoughts and prayers are not going to fix this.
Man.
And that's what the politicians want.
Yeah.
The politicians keep going, oh, my thoughts and prayers, my thoughts and prayers, my thoughts and prayers. How about you turn your thoughts and prayers into some action?
I'll give you an example. Black people have been praying for years for equality. for centuries. You understand? Africans have been praying for centuries for equality. You know what I mean? Did you see, a little off that note, did you see that tape of Reagan and Nixon?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen to it. Yeah.
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
That one really burned me up.
And the thing is, unless, man.
That man.
And the thing is, you can hear those voices. And there's no part of you that goes, oh, come on, that doesn't sound like Reagan.
Yeah.
Like, no, that sounds like Reagan. And then the other one that then you hear Nixon talking to somebody else. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's Nixon's voice.
That man thought we were animals. That's why he sent them down there to bomb us.
To watch those monkeys, and they have troubles wearing shoes.
They haven't learned to wear shoes properly yet.
Whoa!
And then Nixon says, "Yeah, you see those cannibals."
Yeah. Well, I hate to say what's funny about that, but he was talking to the other guy about what Reagan said.
Yeah.
Reagan called them monkeys. Nixon went a step further and said, he was talking about those cannibals. So unless there's another part of the tape where Reagan called them cannibals, Nixon just tried to make it even worse.
So that's why people ask me if we eat people where I came from when I first came here. And I said, from the top down.
Exactly. Okay, another example of the top down. Obviously, okay. And I tried to explain this to a friend of mine when he was saying that it was good to finally have somebody in the White House who's not afraid to speak their mind. Look, having somebody who's not afraid to speak their mind is one thing. Having somebody who keeps saying a bunch of hate-filled stuff is another. And that's one reason why I think a lot more of the white supremacists, white nationalists have started to almost look like they're gaining ground, like they're coming back. Why? Well, the person in charge is saying what we like.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, how many times do you know, maybe you're working at a job and you've got somebody who goes, man, I'm not going to worry about trying to do that. You know, the boss doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Why should I have to?
Yeah.
Top down.
Yep.
Why do you think even in sports, the coaches, the good coaches, obviously set a good example for their players, and then they get their team leaders to help set good examples for the rest of the players, because it's from the top down.
Yeah.
The rookie is going to look at the team leaders and look at the coach, and if your team leader is lazy as hell, well, unless the rookie is extremely driven, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
They're going to go, all right, well, I mean, these guys
I'm
are
getting paid.
These guys are getting by on whatever. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
Again, top down.
Top down. Yeah, know what I'm saying?
Kids learn from their parents. I mean, I know there were a lot of times when I was younger, like, you know, preteen, getting into early teen, something like that. If there were younger kids around, my parents had to say, hey, make sure you don't do this because these kids are watching you.
Yeah.
Like, don't jump across this little spot that you know you can do.
Yeah.
And this 5-year-old's going to go, ooh, look what I can do. And they're probably going to go get hurt. Again, the little kid is looking up to the bigger kid. You know, it's like, you can't do this because this one over here is going to try and follow what you did.
Yeah.
Kids obviously learn from the parents, top down.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And people don't see that, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people keep saying that we want to. Well, you know what, though? A lot of people who keep saying we want a man in charge who says what he wants is the ones that want them to probably go a little further and use the N-word.
I'm kind of surprised he hasn't yet.
Because he knows he's going to get a lot of backlash right now.
I know, but still.
You know, there's a point going to come where he think he's going to be able to say that. You know what I mean? And I'll
Probably
be honest with
probably
you.
when he makes himself dictator.
I'll be honest with you. Let's say if Al Sharpton was in the office, he'd probably be saying crazy stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of black people going to try to lynch me now.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Let's find a tree taller than 7'1". Anyway, but you know what I'm saying though. So that's both ways.
That is the problem when you've got somebody who's so far on one side.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've heard him use the term, the C word.
You mean those things that you might break up into your soup?
Know what I mean?
Know?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Saltines. You know?
Yeah. Supposed to munch on those when your stomach's not feeling good.
You know what I mean? So that's why the cannibals ate.
My stomach wasn't feeling good,
you
Mom.
Know what I mean? So when Mighty Sparrow on them. Inside joke. But you know what I mean? Dude.
We're trying to make you laugh a little bit, folks.
Dude, when I heard Reagan say that, I'm like, wow.
You already knew that he called you all the toilet of the third world.
I know, but man. And I knew
the bad thing is that unfortunately with him having to say that publicly, toilet of the third world, that means I have to convince everybody why we have to go down here and bomb this island.
Yeah.
You know, this island that everybody's going, who?
Yeah.
Where? What? You know, because like I said, Americans are awful at geography. They don't even know all 50 states. They're definitely not going to know every island in the Caribbean. So
that really had me give me some flashbacks.
Hearing Reagan say that?
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
That did.
I don't doubt that.
That really gave me some flashbacks because I'm thinking, wow, no wonder why the medical students were telling us they own us and stuff.
And this happened while Nixon was president. Remember that?
Yeah, he was only governor.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Not Nixon, but Reagan. Reagan was only governor.
Yeah, Reagan was only governor. Yeah, so this happened before Reagan became president.
Yeah,
him calling the African delegation, right? Basically,
for the UN.
Yeah, calling them monkeys. That happened when he was just governor. He wasn't even president yet. And then obviously sending the planes down to you.
Yeah.
He was president.
Dude, that really gave me so flat. I'm like, wow.
And did you hear the response though from the Reagan National Library?
What?
Well, if he said that, then he probably shouldn't have. If he said that, I'm sorry, I really don't believe that. Oh man, what is that comedian's name that could do a really good Reagan impression? Oh shoot, my mind just went blank.
But
there was a comedian from back in the late 70s and into the 80s who was really good at impressions, and he could do an incredible Reagan. And somehow I seriously doubt it was him calling Nixon.
Yeah.
Going, hey, why don't I do my best Reagan impression for you? You know.
But you see, they only say that because they know the people who, the far right base of people would believe that, well, yeah, you know, it might not be him. Just like the far left would say, oh, well, no, Bernie didn't say that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, people are so far gone on the left and the right.
Yes.
They are so far gone. I watched
the Kool-Aid has gotten stronger. The Kool-Aid might be laced with LSD or liquor now or something. I mean, good. This isn't just sugar anymore.
You know, and you see them. I see them on Facebook going at each other, and it's like, man, y'all are gone. Yeah. And that's both left and right. They are gone.
My uncle posted one, and I think he wrote it, but basically it was kind of along the lines of like a poem, and basically saying, like, he'd give a little line and then say, your thoughts and prayers aren't enough, and then give a line and then your thoughts and prayers aren't enough. And then somebody just absolutely opened up on him and was like, you can't, basically saying you can't attack Trump and all this sort of, and then my uncle came back and said, look, his name didn't even come up until your post.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you need to look back at your other posts. And I even went at your other comments, and I went back and I looked through the comments like, I don't see Trump's name listed anywhere in here. People are just saying, oh, well spoken, well said. Oh, this is great. Can I share it?
Yeah.
You know? And he's going, oh, you need to look back at your past comments. And, I mean, it's just ripping my uncle for this. I was like, every bit of what my uncle wrote of his own words there were peaceful.
Yep.
He's not saying we need to just go open up with AKs on the Republicans.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that. He wasn't saying, you know what, we just need to go assassinate the president. He wasn't saying anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, and this guy, he's the one who brings Trump into it and says, you can't blame him and you can't do this and you can't do that. I'm like, and my uncle went, whoa. You're the one who brought him up.
Yeah.
And then he went back after my uncle again. I was like, wow.
But you see, and that's one reason why I stopped put stuff up there on my Facebook page, because I realize it's a circular argument.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I mean? Because you say something and it doesn't even pertain to politics.
Yes. Yeah.
And a Bernie person would come in there and go, well, you blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, I didn't say anything about Bernie.
Yeah.
You know, you assume something. Or, Trump.
You know what? I would be willing to bet that if I posted, like, say, the link to Champ Bailey's entire speech from the Hall of Fame inductions this weekend, he ended it by basically pleading for, he was like, look, he goes, even though I'm in the Hall of Fame, when people see me first, they see me as a black man. And he said, look, we've been through some things. He's like, look, for our white friends, when we try to tell you about our struggles and what we go through, please listen.
Yeah.
Somebody would probably be going, oh, he had to turn the Hall of Fame speech into a political racist thing.
Like, he's pulling the race card.
Yeah, pulling the race card. I'm like, whoa. Like, this was a great speech, and I'm sorry if that offends you at the end, then you've got something wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Then obviously maybe you've got some racist tendencies.
Dude.
Because this was a peaceful cry.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, how many times have we...
He didn't kneel to the anthem or nothing.
Yeah. Well, and how many times have we even seen, and you've even seen personally, a white person try to tell you...
Oh, yeah.
What you've been through.
Oh, yeah.
And what your experiences are.
And that's usually those liberals.
Yeah. And he was just saying, just please listen.
Yeah.
Just please listen.
You know, like the conservative wouldn't listen because they think I'm complaining.
Yeah.
And the liberals wouldn't listen because they think they know better.
They'll interrupt you.
Yeah.
You'll start going with, well, the other day when this happened, oh, I know, man, this is ridiculous. Like, man, I didn't even get to finish the story.
I didn't get to finish, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the thing, too. Like the other day yesterday I was talking to a couple of friends of mine, and they're both kind of liberal. And they said, yeah, you got liberal ideas. I said, no, I've got human ideas. Mm-hmm. The only reason why it sounds liberal is because politically minded liberal people are using human ideas to get across to people. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean they believe it, because then they go off fighting with the conservatives.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me I have liberal ideas because I wasn't born here. I came here with those ideas.
You were born a liberal and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, something that didn't even affect the politics where I'm from.
Yeah.
This is the way I thought before I came here. So you can't tell me I'm a liberal because I think like that. I think like that because that for us is human thinking. You're supposed to treat people right. You're supposed to show people respect.
Oh, that's
Doesn't matter
funny.
what color you are, what creed you are, what nationality you are. That's
funny.
something they teach us as human beings where
Yeah.
I'm from.
Yeah.
Not as liberals.
I'm sorry, a child is not born a Republican or a Democrat. They're taught it.
And then they go, oh, okay, I'll give you. You ain't giving me nothing. It's the way it is.
I'll give you that.
The liberal said that, and I was like, you ain't giving me nothing. That's the way it is.
I was like, I'm gonna give you credit here. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're gonna give me a few bonus points or something.
Thanks for giving me credit for being human.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because I'm sorry, you know what? The people on the far left have got some inhuman ideas too, and they think that Republicans need to just vanish.
Yeah.
Look,
and you see that in the gun argument that's going on right now. Because I see liberals get on there and say, well, we just need to get rid of all those people that want the guns. Really?
That's the same argument that when somebody says, you know what, we just need to get rid of all these illegal immigrants to make them want to go and just shoot a bunch of people in a Walmart in El Paso, Texas.
And what's so funny about it is
you drove from Dallas.
You're all alike.
Yes.
You're all so alike.
Listen to those hate-filled things that you say about each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man, we really are a lot alike.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah, come on, no. Who you think, and I tell you what, the rich boy up there laughing, going, ha, 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 drinking the champagne, watching the show, and I almost say the S word. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why I don't comment on nothing on Facebook, because it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I might put up a news thing and make a commentary on it there, because then people don't argue with that as much, because they go, wow, and most of the things that I try to put up now is stuff from other countries, because the idea is to show, hey, it's not that different elsewhere in certain places.
Yeah.
It's way different in Sweden and stuff.
Well, and obviously it's way different, too, in places where they're just constantly bombing the heck out of children.
Yeah.
Although, granted, we're doing it with guns instead.
Yeah.
So.
So, dude, I'm getting to the point where, thank God I'm like in my twilight years, because it's only going to get worse if we don't stop for a minute and, as Michael Jackson say, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you look in the mirror, just see human.
It does start with, I won't say the man in the mirror. It starts with the person in the mirror. Starts with the human in the mirror, and it does also start there with them looking, with the people up at the top looking at themselves in the mirror.
Well, to be politically correct, we can't say Hugh man anymore.
Oh, yeah. What did we say? Hugh person?
Well, you know what? Hugh Bean.
Hugh Bean. Hugh Bean. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Bean. You know what I mean?
Hugh person, Hugh people.
Yeah.
That was funny at the moment. But yeah, Hugh Bean.
Hugh Bean.
I like that one. Yeah. New term, folks, from the Rudebuoyz.
Yeah,
Hugh
Bean. Be a Hugh Bean.
I mean, well, think about this. How many times do we lazy up words and like to combine them anyway?
Yeah.
We're combining human and being. We got Hugh Being.
You know what I mean? Hugh Bean.
You don't even have to say all the syllables. There you go,
Come up with
folks.
a new word and thing, you know what I mean? But anyway, you got to get back to work and thing,
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm off the next couple of days, thank God.
I'm working on the men's soccer record book today.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And it is, and I'm going to be putting up a happy birthday post later today. When are you going to be posting this podcast?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, so the day before you guys are going to get to listen to this on August 6th, it's Katie Murphy's birthday.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Katie Mullins now, since she's married. So I got to put up a happy birthday post to her. But then other than that, I'm working on the soccer record book and trying to update some bios and things like that.
Yeah, I saw Katie Mullins, and I was like, who is that? And I had to go check and see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Katie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we better get out of here and ting, you know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be out, today's Tuesday, it's going to be out tomorrow. I can't tell you tune in for tomorrow.
Well, we can't tell you this. Tune in this Saturday night. We will have a show on WMUL. So, obviously, if you're in the listening area, which is just right here in Huntington tri-state area, so real close range, 88.1 on the radio. And if you're not in listening range, www.marshall.edu/WMUL. Stream 1. We'll be back on, and that's when we also play music as well as
Go live.
Yes, go live.
So you're gonna actually see the faces to the voices.
Well, that's on Facebook.
Yeah.
At the Rudebuoyz. Not you're not gonna find the Facebook live broadcast on WMUL's website.
No. Just on our Facebook page.
Yeah. At the Rudebuoyz.
But So
and then of course if you want to listen to the music that we play and all that, so
just stay on the live stream on
the MUL's website.
Yes, you know what I mean and thing, but
Thanks. We can say thanks for tuning in though. We can't say that.
You can't say that, and I ain't gonna say no thoughts and prayers and all of that. I'm gonna just say fix it.
And
we can't let that system get us down, make us go out and do crazy stuff like that.
Exactly. We gotta find our humanity again, folks. It's the Rudebuoyz.